Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 15.
Listen, I need y'all to subscribe. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. We need your help. We need you to like the video because I think we do a good job. And we need you to comment because we want to hear what you think about the episode. And share the video because we don't want you to be selfish. Share it around. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So we start with Ayo and Joey.
Yeah.
Ayo is checking on Joey to see how he's doing. Samantha just left and she wanted no parts of Joey.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey just wanted her to find love. He knew that they weren't for each other, but he just wanted to also be able to have a final goodbye. He didn't like the way they ended things.
What are your thoughts on that?
Joey, it doesn't matter. And I don't even know if I believe Joey's reaction, to be honest. I mean, you got Grace there. You got your girl. Don't be too gutted about Samantha. She'll be okay.
You don't believe Joey when he's sitting down like this?
He didn't really like the girl, so I really don't know how hurt he actually is. But you know, whatever.
Look, man, Samantha was done wrong. Samantha was done wrong. That doesn't mean that I believe that Samantha was right for Joey, but I do believe Samantha was done wrong and justice for Samantha.
Right.
You know?
So Grace and Tiffany talk. Grace is just going to give Joey some space to process this situation.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The guys tell Joey that Samantha left in good spirits. The girls are talking, and Grace didn't really want to send the girl home. And Uma's like, well, you didn't really send her home. Like, you shouldn't feel responsible for what happened to her. It's just how it unfolded. And she's just like, Jess and Harriet are saying, and there's no way he could really compete with, she could compete with an ex.
Yeah, and truth be told, you did send her home. That's the whole point of the game. You did send her home because I truly believe that if you didn't pick Joey, and if Joey would have picked Samantha, or vice versa, or like whatever, somebody would have picked Grace. You get what I'm saying? Omar, you still got boys on the island. Somebody would have picked Grace. The whole idea that they said that Samantha left in good spirits, I read online that even Samantha's mother's mad at this whole thing about the ex coming in and things like that.
It was unfair. It's
yeah,
unfair.
So it's like I don't think she left in that good spirits. Okay.
Yeah. So Jess and Nicole talk, and they're both sad that Samantha's gone.
Yeah.
Her journey is done here, but she left with her head held high.
Yeah.
Well, Sean and Harriet talk. Harriet says, you know, Ronnie is going to do this every time a new girl comes in. And she's basically trying to get Sean to continue to flirt and talk to Tiffany. And she tells him, you need to shoot your shot. And Sean says, you know, I know that. And Jess, she gave me an opportunity, but she also kind of shut it down the same day.
What are your thoughts on that alone?
Really don't have too many thoughts on that. It was kind of a short conversation. My only thoughts is that Harriet is trying to get Sean to go after Tiffany so that way it could free Ronnie up a little bit.
Exactly.
So I think it was just a strategic conversation.
Yeah, I wish it would have been a little bit more strategic because it just seems like Sean is picking people who don't want him. And they are making it very clear, very, very clear that they don't want you. Tiffany don't want you either, buddy. So I think... Sean, you might as well just be there and help your friend Harriet get her guy because I don't think you will get your girl on this island.
Right. So Ronnie is talking to Tiffany and saying how happy he is that she picked him. He's going to eventually tell Harriet that he plans to move forward with Tiffany alone. Eventually. Whatever Ronnie's timeline is, because if you give him a deadline, he will miss it.
Of course.
So Grace and Joey chat. Joey wishes that he could have talked to Samantha before she left. And Grace is just like, okay, well, what were you really trying to say? And just to say that he, you know, didn't want this for her. Grace says, like, you shouldn't have tried to do it in front of all the girls in the first place. She said that, you know, you also didn't need to dramatically walk off. She thought it was all a bit much. You could have been there to support. Grace is just like, honestly, like, I'm happy I got picked for you, but I was still there to support her as she walked out. But she ultimately doesn't want to bicker about this. And they end up kissing and hugging it out.
Yeah.
So Nicole and Kieran are making out on the terrace. She really feels that Kieran cares about her, and Kieran has caught feelings for Nicole.
Stop right there. I have thoughts. Y'all keep showing us this Nicole and Kieran crap. Where is Ayo and Mimi? Like, y'all keep showing us these two. They haven't given us any new information.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care how small it is. I don't care how big it is. I am realizing more and more that the airtime for Ayo and Mimi, who is also coupled up together, is less than it was before. right? And my thing is, Chris, we see like shots of Ayo and we see shots of Mimii. No, I'll talk about them together.
Yeah.
If y'all can give us 2 seconds of Nicole and Kieran sitting down talking about I like you too, you can give me 2 seconds of Ayo and Mimii.
I think that's fair.
That's all I'm saying.
That's fair.
Right? That is all I'm saying. And y'all lucky that today was the episode they had their first date, because I'm telling you,
we were about to get a serious rant.
I was telling Blair, listen here.
Mm-hmm.
But let's continue.
Yeah, well, Ronnie's telling Harriet that he's going to sleep on the whole Tiffany, Harriet love triangle situation tonight. Mm-hmm. Harriet asks, are y'all going to be kissing and cuddling? Mm-hmm. And he tells her that he respects her. He isn't going to forget about her. No. And Harriet says, just be respectful and no kissing and cuddling.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
So it's nighttime. Sean is joking around with the guys while everybody's getting ready for bed, saying Harriet's going to be looking over the bed, seeing if they kissing and cuddling. Tiffany tells Ronnie that Harriet didn't really speak to her today. Grace and Joey are cuddling and making out. Kieran and Nicole are making out. And Joey just hopes that everyone is happy for him and Grace. He feels that their connection really is genuine and true.
Well, how do people supposed to know that? Because most of the connection that y'all had was at the sleepover villa. Mm-hmm. So now you're like, hey, hopefully y'all are happy for me. Who is the y'all are happy for me?
Yeah.
I think he's talking to the people who are voting for their favorite connection and things like that. I tell you this right now, I will not vote for that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I feel like it is dirty. I feel like it is planted. I feel like it was preordained and things of that nature. I will say I will give Ronnie his respect. He wasn't making out with Tiffany during the night. But I do feel like a lot of airtime is Love Island is slowly becoming the Joey show. Do y'all feel this? Because I feel
it.
Because I'm like the past couple episodes,
Joey and Ronnie, I'll give it that.
It has been the Joey show. How do y'all feel about that? Write down in the comments below if I'm off, if I'm on, if I'm lukewarm. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I had a thought about the Grace and Joey situation.
Okay, help me.
And just about their connection. I feel like I see that they have a strong bond.
Yeah.
But I also think that the sweet part about Love Island is you get to see people grow a connection out of nothing. And we really didn't get to see it grow out of anything because they knew each other from before. So all those first conversations and getting to know each other, I mean, they're past all that. So I just feel like, we're kind of missing a huge chunk of their relationship story. They can still be a favorite couple, but I think that's what makes people fall in love with couples is to actually see their full story. So
yeah, that's true.
It's the next morning. Uma enjoyed cuddling with Omar.
Will.
With Will. And she said that she was taking her time. There was no kissing.
What are your thoughts on that? Because I have a lot of thoughts on Uma.
Yeah, I think Uma is just basically going to cause this relationship to kind of putter out the way that a car does, like when you run out of gas. Like they had things going. They were kind of on fire beginning. They were really clicking. But if she continues to take it at a snail's pace, I mean, there's going to be bombshells. There's going to be other people. There's going to be competitions that will probably get Will to turn his head to somebody who is a little bit more aggressive in showing their interest and attention to him. So I think Uma, although like she wants to take things slow and appear to be a respectable woman, or I really don't know exactly what her goal is with this. I know some people talked about maybe she's just trying to make it to Casa Amor possibly, but she doesn't really want to seal the deal with anybody, and not necessarily like physicality, but she's not allowing relationships to progress. Like she's stopping them right in their tracks.
I think we're going to see more of this throughout the episode where we have Joey and Will talking, and then we have Uma talking as well, and something as simple as trying to get them to kiss.
Yeah.
Right? It gives off very childish.
Yeah.
It gives off a fake relationship, right? What makes it real, or as Blair like to say, about Love Island is seeing connections grow, right? If we see y'all episode after episode and y'all not actually doing anything proactively to grow your relationship, something as simple as a kiss, it does give off a childish relationship. You know what I mean? It's only a certain amount of times y'all can hold hands, but Uma do give off the aura of I like being liked, and then that's it.
Yeah,
you know.
So Joey and Ronnie talk.
Yeah.
He didn't like how he and Samantha ended things. He respects and cares about her.
Yeah.
But as long as she was happy when she left, that means a lot to Joey. Joey and Grace do have an amazing connection. And Joey is saying that, he sees a different Ronnie. Like, he seems very smitten with Tiffany. And Ronnie is feeling good about his situation with Tiffany.
I don't see a different Ronnie.
I don't.
Well, okay, sure.
I think this is how Ronnie is whenever he has a new interest.
Exactly.
He's kind of all into them. He seemed more into Harriet when he was coupled up with Jess, and Jess to the wayside. Now that Tiffany is here, he's more interested in her. Harriet's to the wayside, and it's like, is Jess even still in the house? So Jess, Tiffany, and Nicole are talking, and Tiffany says that they cuddled, and there was like a couple quick kisses before she went to sleep. Tiffany is telling Grace that she hasn't spoken to Harriet today. She doesn't really get the vibe that Harriet likes her or wants to be friends with her.
Of course.
Grace says that she says, Harriet says what she thinks without considering other people's feelings. And Tiffany says that she's not like she's about to marry Ronnie tomorrow. Like Harriet is over the top and she thinks she's a little bit catty.
I mean, she is.
But Harriet is actually the bigger person in the situation, and she's the one who actually goes over to Tiffany, and Grace, gets up so they can have a one-on-one conversation. Yeah. So Tiffany feels that Harriet's been a bit off, and Harriet says, sometimes my face does tell it all, and it can come across bad.
Yeah.
And I kind of took that as she's not happy with the situation, but it's not like she has an issue with Tiffany.
It's not personal. Yep.
Right.
You're right.
Harriet says that she's not always hard and fierce, like she is a girl's girl, and she really doesn't want anybody to be upset.
I kind of believe that.
I do. Harriet doesn't feel that she really got to explore things with Ronnie because something has always gotten in the way. She's fine with Tiffany getting to know him, and if he has a better connection with her, she's not going to lose sleep over it. Harriet asks her if they kiss in the bed, and Tiffany says no. Well, she tells her, Ronnie said that he wouldn't, that's something he promised me that he wouldn't do. And she also says, but Ronnie, sometimes he just be saying stuff. Like he said that, Sean, you stole my girl from me and stuff like that. Or Sean stole his girl from him. Tiffany says that it just seems like he doesn't know what he wants. And Harriet is like, basically, he wants every flavor.
Yeah, he knows what he wants.
He wants everybody.
Ronnie, you take the situation seriously. Ronnie doesn't. He don't take no situation seriously. So when he walked up to Harriet and say, "Oh, I see that Sean done took my girl," right? It's funny. It's sarcastic. At the same time, it makes you think. If you want to think this way, I'm your girl. It's like he's doing multiple things at one time.
It's like he's flirting, but also playing, and it's just kind of like you won't know where he stands.
No, because he just could go right back on the day bed and just sit there all day.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
So Ronnie, Omar, and Sean talk. Ronnie says that he is calculating what he's doing. Like he thinks he can be all in with Tiffany, but basically he's not dense. Like he knows what he's doing.
Hold on, who? Ronnie, Sean, and who?
Omar.
Omar's still on the show?
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
I thought we got the boys off the island.
We got Munveer off.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought he snuck back on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Omar, get off my show, please.
So Mimii gets a text. It is time for Mimii and Ayo's first date. So you're getting the airtime that you've asked for.
I'm telling you, that rant was going to be epic, guys. I'm telling you, it was going to be epic. It was going to be epic.
So we switched to Tiffany and Ronnie.
Yeah.
He asks her if she's okay, and he tells her, I'm not this horrible guy that people make me out to be. He's actually pretty nice. And Tiffany's just like, well, you just be chatting. Like, you really just be saying stuff. She brings up the comment that he made about Sean taking his girl. And Ronnie was like, I was just being nice. And I was being funny.
It was funny.
And he says, but he really just wants to concentrate on Tiffany.
That's fair.
So Uma, Nicole, Jess, and Grace are all talking, and they all feel like Will is kind of a touchy-feely kind of guy. But Uma says that kissing is a big thing for her. She was getting to that place with Ayo when everything kind of went awry. Yeah. And she would have been more upset with everything that happened if she would have kissed Ayo.
Now stop right here. This gives off little girls.
It does.
So do I have to say get the boys and the little girls off the island?
I think so.
Get the little girls off the island. Uma, why would you sign up to be on Love Island if kiss is a big deal to you? That literally makes no sense. The first thing you did when you walked in on the village
is everybody.
You kissed every person. Why are you gaslighting me for? I didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it's a thing to where they challenges or dares. Kissing is nothing. But I think the thing about Uma is she never been in a relationship, as we was corrected. Thank you. Right. So she thinks the little things are big things. Yeah. Like kissing, holding hands, hugs, those type of things that you normally see on the way to relationships. She think it's a big deal, and it's not. And the only thing about it is the only way that can actually work for somebody else is if the other guy's a virgin himself. But if the other guy is more experienced and things of that nature, he's not looking at this kiss as okay, like it's a big deal. Like no,
Yeah.
like no, and it just lets me know that she's inexperienced. I think Uma, you are a very beautiful girl, but I think you're very inexperienced when it comes to relationships and just how it goes and just the functionality of it.
So Will and Joey talk.
Yeah.
And he is saying to Joey that we haven't kissed yet,
Told
but
ya.
he thinks it should come soon. And Joey says, well, the kiss is the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi and Ayo go on their boat date.
Uh-huh.
She has really high hopes for him. He's
Yeah.
been a gentleman. He's been very attentive to her.
Mm-hmm.
And she appreciated his speech yesterday. This date today is just a cherry on top.
Do you know what's interesting? Samantha says that she's rooting for Ayo and Mimi.
Samantha said that?
Samantha said that.
Mm.
Samantha said, you know, because she's eliminated, she
Uh-huh.
said she is rooting for Ayo and Mimi, which leads me to think more what is happening on the villa that we are not seeing.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But I will continue on.
Yeah, well, Harriet and Nicole talk,
Mm-hmm.
and Ronnie said that he owes it to Tiffany to give her 100%.
Okay.
Nicole thinks that they had a peck. She saw that they had a peck,
Mm-hmm.
and Harriet starts crying. Nicole tells her that she doesn't need to be upset. Harriet's crying because nobody told her they kissed.
Okay.
Back to Mimi and Ayo. They're talking about religion. She is Christian. She goes to church. He also goes to church. And he really thinks his mom and sister will love her.
Yeah.
Ayo is happy that they're not in that love triangle situation anymore. He feels that the outcome is the right outcome. And she is enjoying every day with them. And they seal it with a kiss.
Now that we actually got to see a date with Ayo and Mimi and even some airtime, Blair, what did you think about the date?
I think they are each other's speed.
Uh-oh.
Pretty much. Like, they're both very chill, relaxed people.
Mm-hmm.
The conversation seemed to flow well, and they both seem to enjoy their connection. So, I think they're a match. I really think they're a match.
Blair, I think you have a career in being a politician. Okay?
I thought it was boring.
Okay.
But I still think that they're a good match. But honestly, I don't find them interesting to watch. Like, is that so bad?
Yes.
They're attractive people. I like looking at them, but their conversations are just not giving to me.
If you would have said
it's
this,
just not.
If you would have said this yesterday or tomorrow, of course you could have said it. But today's Juneteenth.
Okay.
To your point, right? I asked for more airtime, and I'm not judging them for giving. I'm not saying give them more airtime because they're interesting. Because Nicole and Kieran is not interesting at all, and we see them every episode.
Yeah.
Right. All I'm saying is this. I'm talking to the people specifically who says Mimi need to make it to Casa Amor so she can go get her real guy and dump Ayo. And I keep telling y'all, what you think Mimi's going to do over there? She's going to stare and just look. She's boring, right? That's not a red flag or that's not a bad thing. I'm saying be happy that she's with Ayo. Give Ayo a break because Ayo is really the only one that's keeping Mimi there. Literally, as much as we love Mimi, I love Mimi, Blair loves Mimi, we have to give respect to Ayo for keeping her there. Because if Ayo would have picked Uma, right, we just would have seen a boring Mimi with Omar probably.
Yeah.
Like it just, my thing is, we stop hoping for better with Mimi. This is her match.
I really think this is a perfect match.
This is it. There's no other guy that's going to come and get Mimi. This is it.
Yeah.
So if you're watching and you're like, I can't wait for her to dump Ayo because of what Ayo did to her during that love triangle thing, I'm sorry to disappoint you. This is it.
Yeah.
This is their speed right here. Like as Blair said.
And that's I also feel like not everybody has to be super loud or attention grabbing or anything like that. I'm not saying that they're boring and they shouldn't be seen, but I'm just saying that okay, I get the vibe. It works for them.
Yes.
And that's it. Like there's nothing much more to it to me.
Exactly. And Love Island, let's see it. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, Tiffany is giving Sean a massage. Harriet asked Sean to step away for a second so she could talk to Tiffany.
Golly.
And she confronts her with the kiss information that she received from Nicole.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me that y'all kissed by the stairs? And Tiffany was just like, it was just a peck. Honestly, it slipped my mind. She's like, it really didn't slip. I knew it didn't slip her mind because you was just talking to Grace about it. So it's like, you were literally just avoiding the issue. But honestly, Harriet, you don't need to be going around being a detective. Okay?
You see, I thought it was semantics. Because I thought it was more on, hey, I don't want y'all to cuddle and kiss in bed.
Yeah.
I thought Ronnie just gave her, which it was a peck, because they wasn't making out. I thought, oh, you wanted me to tell you that? I thought it was more like, no, we didn't kiss in the bed or anything like that. So I could kind of see how, not so much it slipped my mind, but I didn't think that it was important information to tell you. And then to Blair's point, I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Ronnie just wants to spend time with Tiffany. He's talking to Joey and Grace. And Joey says, well, are you going to tell her eventually, like, how you're feeling?
Yeah.
And he says he'll do it right now. So Ronnie goes to sit with Harriet.
Yeah.
He says that his way of words, people just don't necessarily get him.
Yeah.
But he wants to only concentrate on Tiffany now. And Harriet says, okay. It was pretty blunt and to the point.
Yeah, you thought he was kind of mean with it a little bit?
I didn't feel like he was mean with it, but I just felt like with all of the sweet nothings you've been telling her, you couldn't have let her down a little softer. I don't know. But at the same time, hey, this is Ronnie. I don't know what to say.
Ronnie is Ronnie.
And Ronnie already says he's not good with his words, so whatever. So Harriet goes inside. She starts crying. Nicole and Jess check on her, and she's saying that she really doesn't even like him. He's just the only guy that she's really connected with here. I don't know if that's true or not.
Then why are you crying?
Yeah, maybe she's crying because she don't want to be off the show. But
and connect with Sean.
Yeah, but I think she really was interested in Ronnie.
Of course she was.
Well, they tell her that it's okay to be upset. She's going to blow dry her lashes and get back out there. Ronnie walked inside and he overheard her crying. He comes back out and tells the people that, you know, he's happy with his decision. He tells Tiffany that he told Harriet he was just going to concentrate on her. And Tiffany gives a little smile.
Well, Tiffany, it seemed like Tiffany default face is smile and things of that nature. Tiffany, look at your future. Your future is in the vanity room crying, blow drying her eyelashes. And
but
like
she
that.
thinks she's special and above it all. And it's just like, this is what Ronnie does.
And guess what? It just is what it is.
Mimi and Ayo get back from their date.
Yeah.
So the girls catch up with Mimi to find out how the date was. She tells them that they were on these mini yachts. Boats. And she's feeling really good about their connection. Mimi says that they see it working on the outside. And Ayo explained to them that he drove a boat. It was the best first date he's ever been on. They're in a really good place. The feelings are there. And he really is feeling like he wants to take care of her.
Well, I mean, it seemed like the explanation was more interesting than the date itself. Who knows? You know? But more airtime.
Yeah. Well, Kieran gets a text. There's going to be one new boy and one new girl that will arrive to the villa.
Yeah.
They both have decided on 3 islanders to have dates with.
Help me.
So each islander that they choose, one is going to serve an appetizer, one is going to serve an entree, and one is going to serve a dessert. So Matilda selects Omar for appetizer, Sean for entree, and Will for dessert.
Okay.
Grace selects Connor selects Grace for appetizer, Nicole for entree, and Mimi for dessert.
Now, the thing that's interesting is that when Will was selected, the camera went to Uma's face, and Uma was like, oh, man, not this again. And I was like, well, I'm sure this girl will probably kiss him before you will. Who knows?
Well, we find out that Connor is 28. He is a barber.
Yeah.
Matilda is 24. She is a recruitment consultant.
Now, before we get to the last part, just based off of how they look, who do you think Connor's going to go after?
I think he's going to go after Uma.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think he's going to talk to Mimii.
Which is odd because you would think he would choose her for the date if he had an interest there. But I don't know.
But here's the thing. I think Uma, I think both of them are stunningly beautiful. Yeah. Right? Shout out to my sisters from another mister, right? But I think he chose Mimii. He's going to sit down, talk with her, realize she ain't got nothing to say, and then he's going to go to Uma.
And probably realize that she's pretty much closed off.
Yeah, exactly, right? And just off of that alone, I think and that's going to puff up Uma's ego in the sense of, like, you know, Uma likes to be chosen and things like that. I don't know how that's going to work with Will and this guy and Uma. Of course, this is just a prediction. Who knows who this guy may go after?
But see, I also feel like because he came in walking in talking about he wanted to shake things up and break up some couples and stuff. So he really did choose the most unavailable women. So maybe that was his strategy, not necessarily to come in and choose a connection, but see what he can ruffle some feathers with. Maybe. Because he chose Grace and Nicole, and they're completely closed off.
But maybe he can get Grace, though. Like my thing is, I think my whole thing is, I think at the end of it, he's really gonna try to talk to Uma.
Okay.
I think he chose Mimii first. He gonna realize Mimii ain't got nothing to say, and then he gonna go after Uma. Right. Now for the girl, I think she's gonna go after Ronnie but Ronnie want no parts of Matilda. That's what I honestly feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we get to the part where they come to the villa.
Yeah.
They are saying hi to everybody, and then they look up on the terrace and they see the rest of the Love Islanders.
Yeah.
And Matilda points out Ronnie, and Ronnie at first is like, I don't know that girl. And then he's looking at her and he's like, I do know that girl. He's like, I haven't seen her in months. And that is where we end.
What are your thoughts?
Ronnie is going to be in another situation, so I guess we have more of that to see. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm tired of y'all producers bringing in people that the people on the show already know on the outside. That defeats the purpose of the show, right? But I think with this one, with Matilda, I think she is going to like Ronnie and go after Ronnie, and Ronnie will be like, I think she's one of the ones that, if I was to put a story to it, that Ronnie probably like ghosted.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
I can see that. I can see that.
Like Ronnie ghosted, like
he was literally ducking and everything. I was just like, this is a different energy.
And
Ronnie.
he's like, oh, I do know her, but it wasn't like a happy I know her. It was like, oh my god,
right?
You know what I mean? Like she was stalking me. You know what I mean? Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen here, tonight there is no Love Island USA. But we will be back tomorrow with the Kardashians, with Love Island UK, and also with Love Island USA. Please tune into that, because Love Island USA, unfortunately, is putting this show to...
It's on fire,
because
it's on fire.
I blame the producers, because y'all over here putting Joey and Grace and all these people, but we talk about it tomorrow. Y'all be good.
Bye.